Shame is a powerful emotion, but at the same time, it is, in the end, one's downfall, and can easily be so. See, shame, just like anger, are ways through which sick people will try to control you, because whoever angers you controls you. Shame, in a way, is also like anger, because it's again an indirect way through which you can be controlled. Because, well, probably since childhood, your parents have always been comparing you with others, have been telling you that you're not going to be good enough, you're not like the others, as if you even had a choice, right? But shame is a very silly aspect because, just like the idea of anger, they are based on accepting certain things. They are based on a point of view, which is a piece of meaning. You don't have to necessarily believe it. But since it is typically dug into your mind by your parents, well, the point is you're going to take it as is and you're going to live by it because, well, to a child, the parents are like gods. See, shame, typically people when they shame you, shame is a comparison in between what you currently are with your potential and what they expect you to be, right? They always expected you to be like someone else because to miserable people, the grass is greener on the other side, right? You took a mediocre or let's say a good mark and then, well, obviously it's not good enough because the others took a better mark, right? And then you took the highest mark possible, but well, again, it doesn't matter because everyone else or others also took that mark. This is just a sign of people not being fulfilled in their life, and obviously, since they are miserable, their objective is to make you miserable as well. It's just a game in which they're, well, pretending to care about you because, well, they might be doing what is good for you, but all this emotional abuse is going to be far more detrimental than you actually living your life. Because if you can't live your life at your full potential, you're gonna feel again even more disappointed of yourself because you're gonna think it's always your fault. It's not your fault because you've been constantly diminished by others, right? Because let's see, you've been compared with others. Like, sometimes your parents may be toxic and tell you, like, I wish you were like the others. Like, why did you even give birth to me? So just you can brag on like that forever? Like, can't you just talk to a mirror instead? And, people will be, salty and toxic like this because of the misery in their life and not doing anything to make their life slightly better. So your parents might be telling you, I wish you were more like them. It's like, how can I actually be like them? How can I actually be them? Like, rip myself out of this body and possess the other person so that I can be them? That's not going to happen. I'm not an occultist, right? A master occultist can actually do that. A spiritual guru can actually do that. But neither of them will want to handle the karma for that because nothing is done without, a counteraction. So the point is, then they might say, but I wish you were like the others. Like, why would I want to be like someone else? The world isn't big enough for the same person twice, right? Like, you can replicate what? Their behavior. I'm not interested in replicating someone's behavior. I'm not interested in replicating someone's luck because their luck is their own. Like, you only see the surface. They were lucky probably that they got a subject that they liked and, well, they got a better mark. But luck isn't always 100%, right? It always has its chances. So, people are silly. That's why I always say anger, shame, guilt, they're nothing else but an idea that lies behind these, right? The idea is typically a comparison. Anger means you're comparing yourself with something. You're not that, and you feel enraged because you feel that your life will be shit if you're not like that, right? You feel like you want more, you crave more. Anger is a bit of an obsession, right? And the disappointment that that obsession is not fulfilled, that that objective is not fulfilled. Anger in the end is irrelevant because once you fulfill that point, something else will pop up. That's the problem with the mind. You can never fulfill the mind. You fulfilled 100 objectives, there's always extra objectives that will come. Either you will want more out of what you already have obtained, or you will want something completely new. That's how the mind is. It's always a problem in the end because if you can't understand this and even realize this, you're just going to be a chaser your whole life. You're going to achieve things, maybe. I'm not going to say no, but you're not going to be fully fulfilled about those. Your fulfillment will be finishing the objective, not pursuing the journey that fulfilling the objective is. That's a bit like fanaticism, because fanatics are not about serving the ideal, they are about serving or actually receiving emotion out of doing something, which in one case will be serving that ideal, right? And it's all about the power of the emotion for a fanatic. When it comes to shame, well, shame and guilt are again some comparison, because when you feel ashamed, you feel bad about something which is compared to another one's expectation. But an expectation is a belief, and as I've been saying, a belief means accepting something without a necessity for proof. You can tell a child anything, especially as their parent, because the child will simply believe what you tell them without a necessity for proof, anyways. Because as a parent, you have to understand you're just like a god to your child, and the child will simply believe what you do. Their mirror neurons will also be replicating your behaviors. So if you suck as a parent, you've got great chances that your child will suck as well. And well, they'll become a replica of you. That is why I always remind people, don't try to have children if you don't feel emotionally ready for that. Because it should be treated as a crime worse than killing to raise a child, just as to simply torture them emotionally and let them live their life as like 1% of the potential that they have. Because yes, killing should always be considered regrettable and punishable, yes, but at least that person's business is done. If they otherwise live their life like 1%, 10% of their full potential, look at the world. Everyone is, misfulfilled. Everyone is miserable. They all crave more, but they don't know what. They don't have any sense in their life. They don't have any direction in their life. They're just like, you know, comparable somewhat to zombies. They can't get an objective, they can't focus on anything. They're constantly on the lookout for distractions. Because distractions cause disappointments. Because you have some expectations out of you which are natural. You may not be aware of those, but you have some expectations. Your being, life itself, has some expectations. If you don't fulfill those, well, you're going to cause disappointments. If you become more and more ignorant, you're going to become more and more disconnected from those. And it will be harder and harder to realize why constant disappointments come in. The problem is, a lot of people will try to control you through anger issues, through reverting things, right? They're pissing you off and then they're telling you, why are you angry, right? Like narcissists do. And shame and guilt are also dangerous, because once a belief is made, your whole reality becomes, in a way, like a reflection of that. It doesn't change at all, reality doesn't change at all, but how you perceive it changes. Haven't you noticed? You can be surrounded by 999 people who will tell you all the good and how much of a genius and perfect you are in everything you do. But if you're programmed to believe everything that's worse, your mind will only focus on that one single person who tries to pull you down, right? So that is why things can easily become a problem. Because an idea is nothing else but a piece of meaning. And a piece of meaning, well, it only has sense in your mind, right? Collectively, it has sense because everyone agreed to it. That's how meaning functions, right? Like, for example, money. Money is just useless paper in the end. Everyone is giving it meaning because, well, we agreed together that it is good for our survival. Yes? But, well, there might come one generation when, well, people will no longer want money and they will want to get back to the bartering that once was thousands of years ago. You never know, you know. Even big empires crumble sometime. So, hopefully this video raised a bit of awareness. You're appreciated. Take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenjan Board signing out.